Wow, it's been a long time though.
Mm-hmm. We didn't do every episode like we usually do.
So Gonzo and I tried. We did one or two of them, and then things just obviously got a little out of hand and busy.
My life gets in the way.
It does, no, for sure. And I haven't really gone into too much about.
So you waited for me?
Well, yeah, because I wanted you to have an opportunity to like, if you defend yourself. No, I'm kidding. But no, so there were some issues in health concern issues.
Sure.
The kind of stuff that keeps us up at night and sends us to the emergency room, eventually the hospital, but ultimately we focused. We took the opportunity to focus on your well-being and make sure that things were good.
We needed to.
Yeah, and I was really happy that we did that. And now that things are on the up and up,
Now you're not going to be able to get rid of me.
I hope. Why not?
Me too.
That's awesome.
I mean, are you doing other shows too?
Eventually, yeah, no, for sure. But all right, so you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
The wheel turns again. A darker age awakens. Heroes and villains collide. A battle for the ages. Mr. Know-It-All reviews The Wheel of Time, Season 3.
What's up, my know-it-alls? Welcome to our final, final. The Wheel of Time has been gone for a couple of weeks, but we're all big fandom, and I still wanted the opportunity for us to talk because one of the things I really, really loved was talking about it with you guys. Mrs. Know-It-All is back.
I'm back. Hi.
And so she's finally caught up on the episodes.
All caught up.
And
to yesterday even.
That's right. And so we just wanted to get a chance to we're going to talk about it. I've had ratings up and down this whole thing. You guys can see those in any of the other episodes that Gonzo and I did. But I really just wanted to get a chance to talk about your thoughts about the whole thing, especially because we've listened to audiobooks.
Yeah.
We took the opportunity while you were down to listen to some audiobooks and get us a look, in the.
And then we would fall asleep and then wake up.
But no.
It's pretty weird.
The first time we woke up and there's a new narrator. And it was when they switched from the male narrator to the female narrator. Big spoiler warnings, by the way. We're going to talk about the whole show. So if you didn't watch the episodes, don't be here. I'm not going to apologize for it, but I'm going to put a lot of spoiler warnings up front so that you guys are very much aware. We're going to spoil things from the books. We're going to spoil things from the show. And so, yeah, just so you guys are aware. So be warned.
So
anywhere you want, literally.
I want to ask you some questions.
Come on, run it. So
how far did the season go from the books? Let's start there.
Well, okay. So they flipped a couple of events. They got through the Shadow Rising, which Shadow Rising ends with the fall of Tyr, which we did not see.
Oh.
Because they're moving that in the story.
Okay.
So instead, we jump to pieces from I believe it's the next book, which is where the Aiel. So again, spoilers for the books. Normally in the book, in the story, they decide, and you remember that moment that Moiraine's like, I've secured us a boat. We're going to go to section. We're going to Tyr. That happens in the book. They get on. Yeah, that's where, and it's a matter of fact, it's, coincidentally because the Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time was a very small world. It was, Domon, whatever her name is, the boat guy that she had hired to send messages and stuff way back last season.
Oh my God.
Right. It's him who takes them normally to Tyr. And so on his boat. And so they go and they normally get to Tyr. When they arrive at Tyr, there's already the rumblings of whatever, and the Aiel are attacking Tyr for whatever reason.
Okay.
And that's actually when he goes to Tyr. There's a big giant thing. He gets the sword and Tyr falls. When Tyr falls, the next book opens with him in Tyr now as its ruler. Because remember, when the dragon's going to start collecting up kingdoms left.
Right.
So Rafe Judkins, the creator of the show, they swapped events. It makes sense in context. Remember that big episode 4, I believe, which is the big one with where you see the hole in the universe get ripped open and the big thing.
Yes, that was such a cool episode.
I loved that episode. And a lot of that information is information you actually get later on anyway.
Oh, okay.
So
they just kind of
and it's
locked it. Well, that makes sense because you have to be able to. Reading is so much more different because it's what you see in your head,
right?
And TV is you can't do a book by
no.
And I know a lot of people don't like the way it's going as far as the books are concerned and how it's been written. Gonzo being one of them.
but he's come around to how cool something. The world of
it's
cool.
It's be really awesome for you guys that have read the books to actually see it come to life. And I think I said that last season too. That's got to be.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And I think for me, because season 1, I was hardcore like, why does this do that so much? I don't understand. These are not how the events were. And then,
but not bad.
And I listened to Brian Sanderson on a podcast, Brandon Sanderson, rather, forgive me, Brandon Sanderson's the guy who picked up after Robert Jordan passed, his widow, Robert Jordan's widow chose him, handpicked him to carry it on and finish the work. He said when he'd sat down with the creators and because they wanted him to be a consultant in the beginning, and he did. He helped consult on some scripts and give some thoughts. The one thing he began to realize was the story was too big. Mm-hmm. And had too many working parts to manage well within the context of a series, especially a series that for its budget was only getting 8, possibly 9 or 10 episodes. At the time, they weren't fully sure when they were in early development what it was going to be. So he goes, as far as he's concerned, this is very much the turning of the wheel. These events have happened before. They will happen again. It's how things work. It's the cycle of the universe. According to Robert Jordan's world, the real world, exist in the 6th or 7th age, I believe. Yeah. So then the books are the 3rd, and it is actually our history, if you will.
Oh, okay.
And so
that's kind of cool the way he wrote that then.
Yeah, he did. He did a really good job. It's one of the reasons why when critics were jumping all over, like, why do the outfits look weird? It's supposed to be fantasy, and they want it to look very English fantasy, like almost like George R.R. Martin's like Game of Thrones type stuff. Like
the Queen of Andor, her
right
get up was very Queen of Hearts-ish.
Very.
Both of them when she was wearing them.
No, for sure. And I feel like that's what made Robert Jordan's universe so it was a lived-in universe. You know, the passage of time had happened. And it wasn't like the Dark Ages where when Rome fell and the Dark Ages moved in, everything that was any kind of advancement was swept away and you were stuck in a very barbaric-y type culture until life happens and whatnot. This isn't like that. Yes, that happened when the breaking happened, but overall, people built on what was. You know what I mean? That's why I said I have all these different styles of clothing and different things like that. And cultures have a different way of doing things. Tanchico looks more like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And so I feel like each of these. I know. Wasn't that great?
That was a good episode.
It was an excellent episode. But anyway, it's just one of those things that when you, the more you look into how all of this is fitting together, the more you sit here and you say, okay, there's clearly a way. Anyway, as a result, I got past that.
Right.
Season 2 started rough, kicked into high gear, and then became wonderful. And that's what
I didn't mind the beginning. It was towards the end that I was just
really. You saw the
flipped it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little flipped on that.
Yeah.
I expressed to you, the last episode was okay. It was okay, not amazing and wonderful. I didn't find that to be the issue. It was a good episode, but I can't well, and I felt I was kind of left with it was kind of cliffhanger-ish, if that's not a word.
Sure. I got it. I got you.
But I don't know. But otherwise, I don't know. It didn't feel like the last episode. I feel like we should have another one.
I hear you. It didn't, right. It felt like, and I agree. So this definitely didn't end like the second season.
Yeah.
The second season felt like we came to a logical close and conclude. Even the first season, we reached the end of a thing. We reached the end of a story, end of a chapter, end of a whatever. And this one felt like we reached a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it was kind of cliffy, but and I only say it was cliffy because of Maureen. That's the only reason why I think it's more of a cliffhanger. Even with Rand, I didn't think it was very cliffhanger. When she screams out, "Stop!" It's like, and he kind of glances at her and he either stops or he doesn't. That's not much of a cliffhanger.
Sure.
But if Maureen's gonna die, because we know, because what's her name died and she fell. Swan, thank you. She died.
That's something interesting too. In the book, Swan doesn't die.
Really?
No, and
Rafe, man, they decapitated her.
Oh, dude, I know it's rough. Rafe Judkins does a really good job explaining why the story gets so big, and there's literally some 40, 50 characters by the end of the thing, and we're following most of them. And someone has to, you have an Oscar award-winning actress or who's playing Swan, and to have her suddenly relegate, because in the books, Swan gets stilled, and then eventually her assistant, sorry, whoever the ammo and
it's like
right, the vice admiral, but they get, I think it's the speaker of the hall or whatever. They both escape, and she ends up being essentially the equivalent of a scullery maid. She's doing, and she meets the general that Morghese kicked out, and ends up like cleaning pots with his people and the whole bit. And then eventually she gets back with Egwene and them, and she becomes Egwene's like servant. And eventually she, through this and that, she gets restored. And that's when they discover that when women are restored, and they don't have the 3 oaths, they are restored and become more powerful. The 3 oaths, you find out later in the story.
You said that because Moraine wasn't still. She just lost her power last season, right? Or he bound her.
Right.
It wasn't that she was stilled. She wasn't stilled. She was bound. Okay, never mind. My questions doesn't.
Well, but it came across as like I thought she was stilled.
She was very.
You find out I don't know. It was a little confusing about how that went down. But yeah. It's one of those things where the way, so his thought was, we can't, how are you going to suddenly go from having this actress be such a major point? And he said, so this was the logical arc of her character and where it ended. Same thing with Loyal, who I can't believe they killed. I hated that he died. I hated that he seemingly died, because in fantasy, if you don't see the body, it's not necessarily real. You don't know. He fell when he broke the way thing.
That's right. Yes.
And the whole thing falls, and he falls. Who knows where he fell? Everyone's like, in my head,
what was really cool was the sound that the gate makes when it's destroyed, and the pulse. I mean, I don't know. It's a small thing, but that was pretty cool. Like
you knew something happened.
Yeah, you knew, right. And that when Perrin had said, it doesn't, not Perrin, was it Perrin? Yeah, Perrin. Yeah. When Perrin had said,
Golden Eyes.
Yeah, Golden Eyes. I kind of like that name for him.
Totally.
When he had said, well, it doesn't sound like the other people are coming.
Yeah, man.
That guy just irritated me too.
Yeah, Pat on Fane. Fane is different here also, but that's okay. Overall, I like what they're doing. I'm long past what they call book cloaking, or being one of those people, a book cloak who's like, it's got to be like the books. Look, it's doing amazing stuff that I dug.
I think it was still the first episode. Yeah, it was the first episode when the 2 ladies. It's the first episode when they're in the vault, and then one was completely erased her memory.
Yeah.
That was so sad. Yeah. And because you saw her later on when she was trying just to look like to relearn to talk even.
Yeah, you're talking about Vera and Sedina's sister.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, the 2 sisters. Yeah, and her sisters, like, and what's funny is she clearly had her mind, but they had regressed, like somehow she had been regressed. Like they got rid of years of her development.
Yeah. Like regressed to like being a child almost. Yeah. What about the 2 girls that you said 2 sisters, which reminded me, Matt's sisters. Which, how about that? That's crazy. Pretty cool.
I like the fact that they can channel. I honestly don't remember if that was if there was more channelers in Aemond's Field, in the 2 rivers. If that's part of the story or not, I don't recall. Especially because we listened to it and I still don't remember it. So I feel like that. I liked it though. I did. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really. It's fun. You have to show the White Cloaks being horrible. But I'm like, really? Matt's mom? And maybe she dies in the book. I don't remember. But I was like, it broke my heart to see her die.
Yeah.
Especially the way she went out.
Yeah. What's his name? And
that one child.
Did I say the girl set him on fire, which I thought was.
You were so.
That was. Yeah.
It was great.
Kill.
For real.
I was. It was because it was so horrible. He was so horrible.
What did you think of Egwene learning how to dream walk? Like that whole.
That was going to mention that too. That's pretty cool. And for the fact that she brought Rand in that one time too.
Yeah. Well, and those powers are not related to the powers are not related to the one power.
Right.
Which is interesting because like that one wise woman said, she goes, I can't channel a stitch but I can dream walk like nobody's business. So one thing we start to realize is in the story, and it's like this in the books too, like Perrin and the Wolf Brothers and the Dreamwalkers, and there's other new things coming out, like Min's ability. These are non one power abilities, and they're all coming back.
Okay, I don't want you to tell me.
Okay.
But Matt, he's alive. And I really thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what happened.
Sure.
I mean, because I remember I asked you and Gonzo, all right, what happens to Matt? Go ahead and spoil it for me. And they wouldn't. They wanted me to watch it. Yeah. So I really thought when you said that you guys were you're going to have to watch it.
Yeah, no spoilers well, obviously we spoil everything normally, but like for you, I understand. Matt is so remember that thing he went to, the red gate. That's one pet peeve I have. That was what?
The thing that was on the other side.
Okay, so I'll be honest, the Elfin or Eiflin, whatever. This, it's supposed to, so remember the game that they're always playing from the Two Rivers, that Fox game?
Yeah.
Okay. That Fox game is essentially a children's game based on this guy. This guy is the fox in that story. That's why when Matt thinks of it real quick, when the guy's asking him, what else do you want? Cause you get three things. Matt realizes in the game, you have to do certain things. He's like, I want out. That's what I want. Cause he knows that if he doesn't ask, he realized if he doesn't ask, he wouldn't get out. But of course, the one thing he forgot was how much you have to bet. There's terms. What do you have to set? And if you don't set them, then he gets to set them. That whole situation in the books is much longer, is much more drawn out.
Oh, okay.
Is more involved.
That's why people, I don't think, remember I told you I kept seeing things from when I was online that's why I asked you what happened to Matt.
Yeah. And so,
okay.
So he wished for three things. Mm-hmm. The first, I'm not spoiling anything. The first thing he wished for was, I wish I had all this magical stuff and all these people.
To leave me alone. He wanted to get out.
He said, done. Then he said, I wish for the guy said, you have all these memories in your head. He's like, I want all that fixed. Fix it. Get rid of it, whatever. He said, done. And the last thing was to leave. And he said, done. So those three things, now we're going to have to see what the repercussions of that is as he comes out. We kind of already get an idea because when he sees Min, clearly he recognizes.
He just didn't remember how he got, or where he was at, or how he got there.
There's stuff missing. What you're going to learn that later, and this isn't much of a spoiler, I promise. The creature filled the holes that were created by the horn with stuff.
And it's just random stuff.
But it's stuff, it's information. It's valuable information. It's information of other people's lives, battle tactics, things like that from the past. So it sort of fits. He sounds like he got rid of the memories, but gave him like an education. He got rid of whatever the things that were overwhelming him, and he filled the holes and filled the gaps.
Okay.
So it'll
be interesting to see. And I can't wait to see where he goes then with that.
Dude, and my thing is, Amazon hasn't even announced they've renewed it yet for a fourth season. So I'm like, what is going on? Right? What is going on?
Oh, that's not good.
No, they need to tighten up. The thing is, this
I'll never know if Maureen's dead.
I love
Speaking of dead, what's her name? I'm gonna say her name wrong.
Nynaeve?
Thank you. I always say it wrong.
Yeah. What about her?
When I thought she was going to die.
Yeah,
I really thought she was going to die.
So fans online have been going rabid about her. Why is she blah, 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 not realizing in the books, her block lasts much longer than this. Yeah, her block lasts a while. And then eventually she has there's a big moment that, and so this is
it was really, her moment was amazing. And you could even, like, she did such a good job. You could tell that she came out, she knew you could tell she felt amazing. Like she was like, herself was reborn. You know what I mean? Like she felt like she looked very confident, very like, I did this.
Right.
I'd like her to go after what's her name again. I don't remember her name.
Leandrin.
Yeah, Leandrin. I get their names mixed up.
All good.
And you know who I don't like?
Who?
I don't like that other dread chick that took over the Amerlin seat.
Oh, Lida.
Lida. Oh God. She's just. You know why? They had to get rid of that one guy just so I can hate somebody else.
I'm so glad I'm so glad they cast her. That particular actress, when I heard they cast her, I was like, oh my God, I love to hate her. But she plays such a good, she plays good characters too, but she plays such really like,
she's a good
wonderful bad character, like bad guy characters. And she really, everything from her voice and mannerisms to her demeanor, it's very haughty and I just love it. And so, and I knew where it was going to go. I didn't know it was going to go down like this. And they did a better job it was smooth in this. And I was like, okay, I'm good with it. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that process, but I know it was a very tight time frame they had to work with.
Do you know who I also don't like? That Spider Girl.
Mogideon.
Yeah, oh my gosh. She's
so nasty.
She's just
like even as much as like spitting in people's food and
like
stuff.
She's so petty.
She's so gross. And you're like, you're Forsaken. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, like
it's crazy.
But you know who I do love?
Who?
Perrin's the girl.
Fael.
Oh, I love her.
Everybody likes Fael. She's perfect, by the way.
I am going to make a prediction and I don't know if I'm going to be right or wrong, but I hope they go after Perrin.
Yeah, I do too. No, I do, because I'll be honest, I don't recall exactly how that went down. I'll be honest, I don't remember him surrendering.
Really?
He probably did, and by all means, comment in the comments, tell me if he did or not. I'm pretty sure he did.
I see why he did. I mean...
Yeah, no, I get it.
Oh, and I love the fact that one kid from the Tinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the fact that the Two Rivers just welcomed him in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough story. It's funny. He does in the books. He goes down a slightly dark path because of violence. It's funny. They almost treat it like an allegory of like drug abuse or whatever. Oh, wow. Like once he went violence, he chose violence
He chose violence all the time.
And eventually he does kind of reel back. And I think I don't remember exactly what happens, but I do remember that if they keep it up with him, he will be on a path. I don't know. Now, obviously, again, you have selectively how many characters you can focus on at a time.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I guess they took the entire season for Perrin to finally arc a little bit,
Yeah.
With standing up for what was right, leading them and everything. But I actually liked that episode.
I did too. Especially if even for the budget they had and the making it look the battles and stuff, because the Battle of the Two Rivers is a big deal, and I thought they did a really good job. Everything from how they showed that little bottleneck with the Trollocs and stuff, very cool. I thought it was very cool.
Another episode I really liked was with the Moraine and Rand when they went through Viridian.
That's where they saw he saw the visions and they eventually see the thing. Yeah, that episode was great.
That was right. That was
Moraine. And what a wonderful visual with that spinning thing.
And I had to watch it kind of like this. Right. I didn't want to get motion sickness. Yes, I can get motion sickness while watching television. Very easy for me.
I even warned you. I was like, watch out the thing spin. Brilliant way to do, especially because it really went in line with the idea of the wheel, of turning.
Yeah.
And how the wheel turns. And that she was seeing moment after moment after moment after moment. And it was started real subtle stuff until eventually you get to closer to her death. And it was in every universe, you die badly. Whether Rand kills you, whoever someone kills you.
I'm wondering if she's going to die because he's the Kara Khan. And that wasn't supposed to really happen because she saw herself die in this desert.
I thought it was the last. He will not be able to make it to the last battle if she's alive.
Okay, so she has the last battle. You know what? I'm hoping. I did like the fight between her and Lanfear.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. Too. So for as much as I didn't like the last episode, there were some really good parts to it.
Yeah. I thought the whole situation with Aiel in the Waste and I thought that whole thing with Rand experientially was really good, and then they did a really good job with it. So by flipping the two events, Tyr and normally in the books, Tyr falls. The Aiel now find him as their Karakarn because he's got the sword. He swears whatever. And they're like, okay, well, clearly you need to come back now to Redian and see if you're this guy, if you're our guy. And then that becomes a motivation to go. They flipped it. Now he is the Karakarn and they want to go back. And now they have to go to the Stone of Tyr, and they will be his art. It's motivationally flipped. It still works, I think. I don't see a problem with how it's laid out, but
that's like I said at the beginning of us talking, was your mind when you read something doesn't always come out appropriately.
I agree.
In the TV.
Yeah, no, I agree. And they're doing a really good job of trying to kind of put all these pieces together.
What was the name of the thing that Maureen had?
That's the Sakaraman.
Dude, I know what they used. I don't know what they used.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I have one. So here.
Oh my God! Look at it.
All it needs is like a little light. I can't remember the name of you would think I'd remember the name of this. But you know how I collect rocks. I collect a whole bunch of different things.
Sure.
Rocks being one of them. And this was one of them. But I also have a baby one too. I forgot I had a baby one.
Oh my God, I love this. These things, don't they look great? Like they're legit. Isn't it? Look at it. It looks so different.
So I felt very
like a part of it.
Very a part of it.
I love that so much that you have that as amazing.
I know. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly. Especially when she first pulled it out of the tree.
Sure.
I thought for sure that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Going back to the memory parts, I really I enjoyed watching Josha, the actor who plays Rand. He did all, and I thought it was great. He played all those parts of the people in the past. And I thought it was wonderful. And then you get to the very, very end. And and what I thought was wonderful was the initial Aiel, who were the servants. They followed the way of the leaf. They were the servants, and you see in the periphery.
It was so cool.
And the two Aes Sedai were like, "Yeah, no, the world is breaking. The men are destroying the world. We have to rescue this, save this before X, Y, or Z." And you see like volcanoes erupting, and just the horizon is full of destruction, and they're doing their best. And then they get them in those really fast wagons.
Yeah,
I was like, for real? These are super fast. And then you get to the very, very, very end past, which is when you see Lanfear. She's not Lanfear then. She's Meridian or whatever the actual, when she was as an Aes Sedai.
She was, sure, yeah.
And she was a scientist, and she was somebody who thought she'd found whatever power powers the wheel.
She thought she found it.
And they were going to be able to get through, and then they
broke the world.
That's exactly what it looks like too.
Like, they broke it.
And then you see those, what looks like energy eyes looking through.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't even when we watch like Doctor Who, and they had the crack in time.
Yes.
Like, they broke the world.
Yeah, man.
A big hole. So
like the endless glass. It's just, it's unreal. Unbelievable.
So.
Yeah, it's very cool. But yeah, it's one of my favorite. That scene for me, that moment was unbelievable. And then when they're done and they come out, and Rand and her can't stop. She can't stop blue. Like they've shared a thing. Mm-hmm. And he stayed there a while. He stayed there 7 days past when everybody else came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, he stayed a while, and he came back with the rising sun. You know, and then he came back with the two dragons.
With the dragons,
like,
which I thought was kind of cool.
I love the fact that they're kind of metallic. I'm like,
that's why I think they're cool. It's like they look like they're bracelets, but they're not. They're more tattooish.
Yeah. Again, I'm just excited for next season. I think especially if they're moving in the direction I think they're moving in. Samael doesn't die in the books. When Moghedien, the one who she killed and strung up like
a spider
web. He doesn't die in the books. Or at least not like that. In the books, he actually does teach Rand how to channel more. So my question is, I wonder how they're going to do that. Like he explains, like, because Morone holds him hostage.
Or how cool was it that they realized, what's her name? The princess of Andor.
Oh, yeah, Elaine.
Elaine, thank you. Why can't I remember these names? There's so many names to remember. Gabriel isn't a real person.
Yeah.
And it took Tom
Marillen's back.
Tom Marillen to figure that, or to tell
her, yeah, I've known. He's like,
I've been watching this entire time, and there is nobody there by that name, and we already know
that he's forsaken.
That he's forsaken. Yeah, we already knew that, but I think it's awesome. See, now this is where Amazon needs to say we have a fourth season, because I have more questions on the previous episodes. I want to see where those play out than I do from the last one. I only want one answer from the last one, and that's it.
For real.
But I just,
right. Well, the idea that they also, like, they rushed things like Morghese coming to Tarvalon and the whole thing. They rushed a lot of elements. But again, you go back to how the season opened. It opened ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I thought it was. That's why I said you said it.
Yeah.
You flip flopped. We flip flopped on how I like it.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting though. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's gonna be good.
I hope they do it. I mean, I'm sure they're going to renew it. I mean, they'd be dumb not to.
I think so too. I really do. So, but all right. So there you go. Now you know. And if knowing's half the battle, you have to be you know yourself. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
I thoroughly did as well. Comment below. Tell us what you thought of the whole thing. Are you were you a fan of the show? Even if you're a book cloak, by all means, speak up and let's hear what your objections are. But actually have objections. By that I mean, don't just be mad about a thing to be mad about it. Tell me what's wrong with it. Tell me why you didn't like it. It's funny. The critics who are harsh,
Okay.
but then everybody else who loves it really loves it. So it's a very polarizing series.
Are you going to rate it? The series?
Sure. Okay. What is the Nodal index for this? For the whole series? For me, this was a solid 9 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, I think this season was solid for me. It's not 10 out of 10 because I think we still can go places. I think we still have big things to come. Last season was close to being a 10 out of 10 for me, but because obviously the Shanchan and everything else, what Gwen went through, all those elements came together. This spun because I know how it should go, and they still kept me entertained, told a good story, held all the pieces together. And for me, it was engaging the entire time. Even the episode that I jokingly said the travel episode is the one after Reedy In. I say travel because it's like this person here, and they're all going places. That was entertaining. You learned things, and I liked it. So for me, yeah, I would say the series is a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
And I probably would have given it a 9 had I probably liked the last episode.
Meh. Fair.
I know it sounds like I'm beating it. I'm not really beating it out. I mean, it was a good like I said, it was a good episode. It was just like, I wish it was a little, I wanted a little more because it was the last episode.
You don't feel resolved. It did feel like a cliffhanger for sure. It did. Yeah. It really did. Maybe that's another reason why I'm giving it 9 and not 10. That's not 10. It's because I do feel, but I think hey man, that works. Your mileage may vary. So, yeah, I'm so happy that you were able to finish watching it.
Me too. I am too.
Yeah, and we'll look forward to next season. And otherwise, yeah, we'll talk to you guys again real soon. Never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.